Hello everyone, welcome to the next session on SAP UI5 and Fiori training. In the last episode, we given a close to our OData chapter and saw how to consume our SAP ABAP based OData service as part of UI5 application. In today's session, we will go ahead and discuss how to use the create method to be able to post the data and also invoking function import functionality as part of the OData service. So let us go ahead and introduce a new view. So I'm just making a quick copy of my view 2. Just make a copy that and paste it once again into the views folder and call this as an add view. Similar to that, just make a copy of the view 2 and make a also copy of the controller of view 2 as add controller. Just gonna go back inside the controller and the view which we have recently copied and created new one. We're gonna make the changes to that now. So I go back to the add controller and just change the controller name here to the add. We can keep the route match handler methods always intact. There's no problem. And this one we can now remove. So no code right now. And let me also remove these methods except the back method, which we would need to go back to the previous view. We don't need all of these methods at this point of time. Let me just remove all of these methods. Very clean, neat add controller we have it at this point of time with us. I'm going to implement a save method on save. What should happen? I'm going to post the data to the backend system. Before we post, let's create quickly a data model which is local JSON model for the current view. So I'm going to create O model equals to new sap.ui.model.json.json model. And this is my JSON model which is local, guys. You can see this is a local JSON model which I'm creating, which is only pertaining to the current view. Inside this JSON model, let's add a sample JSON data, and I can call this var JSON data equals to curly braces. This is like creating an internal table in a ABAP or like creating a work area in a ABAP, and this work area is going to supply and receive data from the UI. Okay, so JSON model here in this case is actually going to communicate with the two-way binding to the UI by the help of the binding. And then whenever there is a need to communicate with server, we will be using OData model. So here now the JSON data, I can say my form data. I can create an attribute inside called form data and accordingly react to that. And this form data or product data, whatever you want to create, let's say product data, I will have all the properties as per my payload. Let's go and check out the play payload. So I can go back. I'm going to see this data in question mark dollar format is equal to JSON to see the data in the payload. And I'm going to pick it up this data, just quickly verify it with the JSON lint.com and going to take this data as part of payload in my code. There you go. You can see I am going to put that over here, and that's my payload, guys, which I'm going to send it to the backend for creating the record. It's a local JSON model. Now let me empty this. Let me keep the other properties. Let me empty the name. Let me empty the description. Let me keep all the other things intact. Just empty the price. Just empty the currency code. And construct the image URL based on product ID. We're going to do that little later. Cool. That's my payload. You can see it here on the screen. This is a local JSON model. Let's set this JSON model to only view level. So this dot get view dot set model O model and my local JSON model I'm creating. Now If you watch carefully, this particular JSON model has a product data entity set, and this exactly matching to the payload which we want to submit to the backend system. So let us go ahead and now pump in this payload on save button. What should happen? I'm going to access the payload back, so I can say this dot var payload, this dot get view, dot get model. Model name is local, and I want get property with a slash. Please get me entire payload. Once I receive the payload, sorry, it should be slash my entity set name product data. That's going to be my payload. Once I get payload, in the payload, I'm just going to also change my image picture dot product pic URL. I want to update that and concatenate it with product name. Example like this. Now, what next? Once this is concatenated and ready, what we're going to do next is we are going to send this payload to the backend. So we have to now access OData model object. If you remember, the OData model object was initially created and set in the manifest. You can see the models here. The default model is your OData model, which we created yesterday, which is pointing to Anubhav service, which is actually OData service which we have, and then it's calling the OData. That's what we have today. Now remember, we have not supported in this particular API, in this OData right now, any create operation. We did it in a dummy wala OData service. So let me just go to dummy wala OData service, and see if that is working. Yes, it's working. This is the OData service. So I'm going to change that OData over here because I'm going to create post operation now, guys. You can see I've changed the OData now here in the manifest.json to be able to stick to the dummy service which we created, which supports post operation. Come back, and now gonna get an access of the default OData model. It's very easy to get an access. Just say var o model, and I can say this dot get view, please get me the view object, and then please get me the model. And don't pass this time the model name. It's going to give the OData model object, which is default. And now say create. This is the call you're going to make to create a post call on what? Slash product entity set. And then pump in the payload. And then it's an asynchronous call always, because you don't know how much time system would take to insert the record and respond you back. Request response architecture, remember. So it's going to give you a callback function, two callback function, one for success if it has been saved successfully, and one for error. Somebody was asking the other day, Anubhav, in case if the backend is throwing an error, our ERP system, our ECC system is throwing an error while creating the product, what do we do? You can see that error will come up here, and I'm going to print this error, or probably to go into debugger mode later on to showcase this. And let's also put a debugger here. So remember, this is fixed syntax. Dot create is the method name of OData model, entity set name comma payload comma curly braces with two callback function, one is success and one is error. If the post is successful, the success callback function will be called. If the post is unsuccessful or some error in the backend, the error callback function will be called. This is what you were asking about 2 sessions back to me, and I said please park the question at the moment. So now the error
Yeah.
handling will also be done on the client side now by this. Let us save this, and now it's time to create our view. So I'm going to go back to the view. I don't want all this thing. I just delete all these things, just keep my view clean. At the bottom of the view, I'm going to have a save button. On click of save button, I'm going to call my action on save, which I just created. And now let's put the content on the top. So I'm going to go back to SAP UI5 SDK. We can speed up our development with the copy paste now, really. So I can just quickly go back to SAP UI5 SDK. There you go. And in the SAP UI5 SDK, I'm going to go back to a sample where I can get a form to be able to create new record and new data. So I go to samples. Oops. And here I'm going to come to filters. Search for simple form again. 12 examples are there. For simple form, you can see 12 examples. Come down, just go inside the group. This has an issue now. You see SAP is throwing an error to me. Oops. Oh my god, SAP has got an error. No problem. We're going to go back and create our simple form ourselves. Okay, we can also refer the one which we created yesterday. If you remember, we created in this supplier more info fragment here. That's the simple form which we have. I'm gonna pick it up, copy that, and paste it over here. Perfect, guys. Very nice. And now let's define the namespaces, of course. So let's add the namespace. What is form namespace? XML namespace for form belongs to my form class in SAP UI5 control libraries. Perfect. And Anubhav is I don't want here in this one. I want title, so I want to put product ID, what you wish to give. And guys, watch out here, very important. We got to do the binding now. So what do you think with which you will be binding, guys? Anybody, what do you think you will be binding now? Your input fields you will be binding with what? Anybody? What will your input field you will be binding with? Anybody?
Payload.
Local
Payload.
JSON model. You're gonna bind with local JSON model, guys. You remember we created a local JSON model here. इससे bind करोगे so that the data can be exchanged between the view. This is the purpose of local JSON model. Data can be exchanged between view and controller easily. And this local JSON model, as it is replicating or indicating your payload. So you don't have to construct a payload separately later on. Because if you bind this local JSON model, it receives the data with a two-way binding from UI directly. Your payload is ready by the click of save button. You just have to read this payload product data and send it to the backend. You don't have to, otherwise you have to again construct the payload as per the requirement. So now the moment I choose this as my JSON model, I can now also create binding slash product data slash product ID and all the properties which I'll show you now. So first property is I want to receive product ID from user, and then I'll put the input field, and I'm just gonna say value property, please bind curly braces slash product data. Now another mistake which I'm doing here, I am forgetting my model name. Local, that's my local JSON model name. Model name has to come first. If you just not put, what will happen? If you not put, let's see how, who can answer, who remember the concepts. If I don't put local, what will happen?
It will be default.
What is the default model?
OData, OData.
OData model, perfect answer. So in OData model, there is nothing like product data, right? It will lead to nothing. Yeah, it will create problems for you. So local model, which is JSON product data slash product ID, bind kar do usse. And now similarly, let me create tuck. And I'm gonna say second property is my product name. Third property is my product description. Fourth property is my product maybe price. And this I want to specially thank you to input field for providing me a type property number. That's very important. I'm just going to give that to make sure. And then I'm going to have another label with text called currency code to choose from. And let's now have a nice drop down option. I can have a select control with a text property of select control binded again to my local JSON. So whatever user choose in the drop down, that will come and sit inside this currency code. Yeah, that's my drop down, guys. So text, the text, sorry, it's the value, I think. Whatever user choose, that will come and sit inside the value of the drop down. It is going to send it to your JSON. And now inside here we have item segregation, of course, as usual, core, item class, key property, and text property. Wow, so much I remember. Very good. I'm just gonna add three currency codes: euro, US dollar, Indian rupees. I say euro, US dollar, Indian rupees. So whichever value user will select, that will go in the value property of select control, and it is connected to the binding. Superb, guys. We are done with the UI. Save button is also in place. Everything looks beautiful. Let's gonna go, and now what? Anybody, what do we do to launch this ad view? We need what? We need what to launch this ad view? Anybody? I taught you everything. What do you need to launch this
Routing,
ad view?
routing,
Sorry?
routing, configuration,
Perfect answer.
router
Yes, you
configuration.
need routing. Go to manifest and create routing. Come down, come down, come down, come down. Okay, let's try our descriptor editor this time to do the routing. Last time we did coding, so now it's easy with the routing. Come to the routing. I'm gonna create a new route here. First, let's add a target. You can make a target now. So you can see in this, you have to put view name, ID, view level, and type of view, and clear aggregation as true. Let me add another target, and I'm say chun chun. I say chun chun, and you see I'm going to choose the view name. So easy for me. Now you see add view is coming up here. View level is 2 or maybe 3 because it's going to load on the right side. And then I can say slide transaction, clear target is true. All looks nice. I can change the title if I wish to. I don't want to do that right now. And now let's add a root, and my root is gonna be add. Never do this mistake of adding fruit root. Never ever do that, because the moment you say fruit, it's always going to refer detail view. Have a different root name. Many people do this mistake, they put the root name as starting fruit. Never do that. And now let's add targets. On the left side it should load Donald target, and then it should load Trump target. Sorry, not Trump, it should load my Chun Chun target. Yes, Chun Chun. There you go. Yeah, so I'm adding two targets, Donald and Chun Chun. So Donald will bring the master screen, keep the master screen, and Chun Chun will get the detail screen. Easy. And now let's all looks nice, super,
No,
very nice.
in the roots, I think manage targets, we have to give the control aggregation also as detail for
No,
Chunchun.
let's come back. Root view we don't have to touch. That has nothing to do with this. You see, it just got added another name. And here we should give some name in the root. Yes, of course, you're right. Here this name has to be given so that we can fire a nav2 method to this. I can say add route or add product. That's my root name. The pattern is going to be add on the top. Title target, we don't want anything. Greedy is false. I don't know what greedy property does, never tried it. I'm going to remove it just for simplicity. And then the target. So this is my root, guys. Root name is add product. And now watch out, watch out. I can go back to the master view. Kidhar mera master view? I can go back to my view one, which is my master view. Go at the bottom, add a toolbar button. First, add a toolbar spacer for Fiori guideline, and then add a button control. And I'm gonna give an icon for the button control, SAP hyphen icon colon slash slash add icon. I'm gonna add it. Please add for me. What to add? On press button. क्या करना है? On add. And now let's go to view one controller and come here. Say on add function, and we all know the game. What we have to do when user press add button. क्या करोगे? Load कर दो. What will you load? You're gonna load your view. So this dot o router, which you created already as a global variable, and now here you will say sorry, dot nav2, and just pump in your root name, which is add product. Done, guys. Congratulations. Entire functionality without a single test is ready. Ideally you should not do that. Break down your functionality into pieces, test step by step. Since I am experienced little bit, then I have done it. I have confidence on my code. I've done everything in one single shot. This is how I do. You can decide your choice. Ideally, when you're beginner or intermediate level, you should go and put first the add button, then test, then navigation via add button to a blank add view, then test, then add some features to the add view, then test, then add on save button to the add view, then test, and then on click of save button, read the data, then test, then on click of save button after reading the data, call the OData call, then test. And that is how you complete your testing, guys. Okay, now let's come back. I can test it for all once. I can run this. It's gonna execute this. I'm gonna open another session as usual. Makes it easy for me to switch between the windows with alt tab key. It's asking me the username password mob5. Pump in. Okay, voila, you see the add button at the bottom. As you can see here, I click on plus button. Oops, it's not changing. Please select an item on the master. It's not changing the view. There's some problem. Press enter. There's some problem. You can press F12 and see what went wrong. Go to console. Console is your best friend. O target control is undefined. You see, cannot read property O target control of undefined. Chun Chun has control ID a parent, but control aggregation was set to the target. Okay, there is control aggregation missing in Chun Chun. In the manifest JSON, when you come to Chun Chun, you can see control aggregation here was should be detail pages. It's just marked as true, which is incorrect generated code by web IDE.
Uh,
Detail pages.
I know there is clear aggregation. That is clear
Sorry, sorry,
aggregation.
sorry, 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 sorry. Sorry, sorry. Control aggregation I have to choose. Yeah. And now all looks good. Okay, let's come back. Press enter. Okay, looking nice. But guys, there's a small challenge. I see no data coming on the left side, which is indicating कुछ तो गड़बड़ है मेरा वो data से. कुछ तो है. Something is wrong with my OData. You see metadata of my OData. Double click here. Let's see if it is loading the metadata. Yes, guys, there's an error. You see Z October OData dump SRV. It's having some problem. No service found in namespace blank. So something went wrong with Z October OData dump service, guys. Let's go and check it out. Is that our clear service name? And first time I'm logging to SAP system now. Just one quick update. We have upgraded SAP UI5 version to 1.52. You all must have received the email yesterday. In our S4HANA server, we have applied a patch of SAP UI5. It's now on 1.52 latest. 56 is the latest, which is public release. 52 is the nearest latest, which we have in our S4HANA server now, guys. You can enjoy the benefits of 1.52. That's the beauty. It's a licensed server. We can contact SAP for any issue. Right now there's also a ticket going on for catalog service issue. We are working on that. Please be there sometime. I hope today or tomorrow this issue will get also resolved. Okay, let me connect. Okay, let's go and check it out. Our OData service which we created the other day. I go to gateway client directly straight into the gateway client and check out my service name which I used for posting the data. अरे इधर तो मैं भूल गया, so I have to go back to SEGW. Check out the project name first of all. ZOCT OData for Dummies. Go to main service transaction. Search here for the OData service. Do a call browser. And yes, this is the one. And it's ZOCT OData for Dummies SRV. I am using an incorrect service. Okay, we got the reason. Let's go back to web ID, manifest JSON, Kidar OData era. Let's replace the service name. Save this. We are done. Let's come back and test it now. You're gonna see the data on the left side now at least. And also everything should be smooth. Press enter. Okay, wow guys, you see add view is loading by the way. I'm just gonna start my app from the scratch, from the first screen, which is master. And you see tuck tuck tuck, boom, there you go. You can see it is loading the data, but again the problem is with the payload. The new data service, if you remember, is a service generation technique we used. The payload is going to be little different. The property names are different guys in this. So let me open a property. I'll just say, so they are in a smaller camel case letter. See, product ID, type code, category. They are in camel case guys, so they are not in capital letter. So this is a little bit more careful. So now I'm going to use these properties as my payload. Going to take this complete thing, go back and change my payload in my add controller where I created this local view. Yes, this is my payload now, and just gonna keep this HT1000. Enter your product ID here just for testing purpose, so that I will see if my binding is properly working or not. And then let's make the name blank, make these things blank. I'll make the price blank, currency euro. You can do that, and maybe I can just make it INR. Yeah, all looks good. Okay, and now of course, because the binding is changed and it has to be updated here, we are in camel case because a different OData service guys, that's why we're doing this. Done. Binding is also updated, so you're going to see this data which I have in my local JSON model will be reflecting on the UI and back and forth. The same data will be updated in the local JSON model while posting the data. And now we can also set up a quick breakpoint on save method just to test our save call to showcase all of you. And yeah, and then of course in the view one where we have a binding done for data display, we have a little catch here. The property names are now no more the same. So I'm going to come back to the list. Product set is correct, but here this is name, this is product ID, this is price, this is currency code. And let's come back and just refresh one more time. Boom, there you go. You can see the data coming up. Let's click on plus button. Wow, superb. Your ad view is coming up now, the plus button. I'm going to now enter the product ID, but oops guys, there is a challenge. I can see the data which I have in my local model. If you see, observe carefully, this is our local model product data and I have some data. Enter your product ID. If binding is successful, ये as it is UI पे दिखना चाहिए था, right? That's how the JSON binding works. Whatever data is there in the model should show in the UI, and whatever change you do, that will reflect back to the model. Two-way binding default for JSON. Something is wrong. What is that something wrong? Let's check it out. JSON data we are setting to create model, setting this model to the view level as a local model. Here get this has no issue. The issue is while setting something is maybe going wrong. So let me check, or like binding product data slash the property. So let me check. This also looks okay. It's value property for input field. Yeah, this also looks okay. Why it's not showing the same data on the UI? Something we are missing, guys. That's my JSON data. It has an entity set called product data entity set, and that is what I'm setting in the JSON model. I got the error.
Anubhav,
Guys, I missed out the step number 2. First create the model, set the data to the JSON model, set data
that
method we
data,
have to
yes.
call. And third step is make the model aware. मैं खुद ही भूल गया मेरा step. You remember 3 steps to create model? That was the problem. Let's come back. I'm sure my problem should be solved. Press enter. It's gonna reload the UI, and of course it won't. It is not working right now. Let me press start from the beginning, because init was not called. Because if I refresh and let's go and plus, no, it's still not working. Something is wrong, guys. So set data.
Product data, whatever we are giving in the JSON data, that's a small letter, right? In the binding, we gave it as a uh, big one actually. Can you
No,
go in the add view?
no, I don't do case sensitive mistake.
This
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
this slash here before product data,
That's important because
because
that's how
it's
your JSON is starting. This slash is important because the JSON is starting like that. Maybe we can just try removing one of the slash and quickly check it. Just try that. Quickly check that. Removing this slash, you see it's not coming still. Slash is not a problem, guys. Something else is a problem. Let me take this. Okay, this setting it here, no problem. Why this cola very D? Okay, we'll do one more thing. I can take this whole data, copy that data instead of JSON data, paste that complete JSON inside. Now give a save. You remember every curly braces should be converted to a slash. So it is starting with curly braces slash product data slash property name. That's how it is, guys, the binding path. So the binding path is correct. Don't confuse. Set data o model or set data. And now let's give a try. Sometimes I observe with variables, it's not setting data. I observe that sometimes. Yeah. So no problem. We're just gonna start this. Removing the root, clicking on plus button. Still it's not coming, guys. Something we are missing. कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. Something is wrong. There's a bug in our code. That bug is creating problem for us. So o model sap.ui.model.json.json model, set data, get this view and set this model at the view level. Let's debug this, guys. Currency code is coming by default. The reason is it's a drop down. Drop down में जो first value है वो automatically आता है. You see this is a drop down. The first value is by default selected in drop down. That's why your currency is coming. So don't be confused with that. Now let's come back and debug this. I'm gonna press F12 and remove this root. Press enter. I'm gonna click on the plus button to observe what is going wrong. Just clear all this. I click on plus button and now it should hit my breakpoint. You see, oops, guys, it's coming to view to controller first, and now see, guys, did you understand why it go to view to controller? समझ में आया बच्चों? See here, who is the controller of my add view? 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 हम ही गलत करते हैं, हमेशा हम ही गलत होते हैं. सिस्टम कभी गलत नहीं होता है. याद रखना इस चीज को. सिस्टम कभी गलत नहीं होगा, हम ही गलत होते हैं. So view name we did not change. You remember we made a copy paste से ये नुकसान है. But good that we know UI5. We can debug, identify issue, trace it, and kill the bug. Kill the bloody bug. I killed the bug now. And watch out. I am confident enough to reload. Tan, tan, tan. You can see enter product ID here. Superb, guys. That's what we wanted. Now you can go and check it also over here. The product ID, this is what we gave in the local JSON. Enter product ID here. That's what is coming. Yeah, quick thing, we are making it dirty. Product ID, labels are not proper. Product name, what do you think, where should the label come from? Anyone, where should the label come from? Perfect answers,
I18N.
I18N, but we are not following best practice. Remember, we ideally they should be all from I18N, but we are not following it right now. Okay, description, then say price, currency code. Save this. All looks nice. Let's refresh. And now all looks cool, guys. That's what we wanted. Still, I have a little catch. I have given in my JSON model, JSON data is currency Indian rupees, but it's coming euro. So ये drop down का जो ये है, इसमें कुछ पंगा है. Let me just check text with the text property of the select control. It's not changing here actually. Value. I think it should be selected item. Yeah, because it's a drop down control, so it should be selected item. So now let's try. It should change to Indian rupees or US dollar, whatever I've given. So let me just go and check what is the currency code we've given. It's INR. You see, currency code is INR. So that value should be selected in there. Okay, selected key, I think, not item. So this property you have to check on UI5 SDK ideally. I believe it should be selected key. We are going right this time. Voila, you can see the INR value is by default selected from the drop down now when it's loading. Let's give a product ID and test it up. I can say Fiori hyphen 1890, some product. It's not there in system, I know. And now I can say Anubhav, we will miss you. Thank you. Price is 5,000 INR. You can change it. Press F12. Get ready to click on save button. Click on save button. It hits my breakpoint. Now it's getting the payload. You don't have to prepare the payload now because it's all there as part of local JSON. You see this is your payload. Looks beautiful. All the data you can verify. You can see thank you Anubhav, we will miss you. That's the data I've entered on the UI. Every single data which you enter is actually picked up and automatically set to the payload. The payload is prepared. Yeah, just use this payload picture URL. Oops, we have a problem here. Yes, another problem in the ed controller. Somewhere we have a situation. So this is the situation. It should be product pick URL. Right now just ignore that and let's begin again. You can also just do a double slash and save it here and immediately click on save again. It's a temporary change for testing. You see I just commented out this code in JavaScript here, double slash, and I'm testing it right away. That's the beauty, client side JavaScript. And now you see it proceeded. Now I say get model and I have now my OData model object with me. I'm going to create a post request. So see create method, watch out the network call here, a post request will go in. So now I press F8. The request is gone. You see $batch request is gone, guys, to create the record. You see this is the call. In the header you can see, come down, you see it's a post request on product set entity set with the payload as this payload what you passed. All that you can track in the network call while posting the data to the backend. And now voila, you see it has hit my success function, which means product has been created successfully. Let's go and check it out what product ID we gave. वो ही देखते हैं. I press executed and I just go to SC11 and let me just check UI पे क्या है. It's Fiori 1890. Copy that, come to DB table.
Anu, if we want this ID to come from backend system, then using number range, we do
You can,
that, right?
yeah, you can use number range for that. Come inside and voila, you see product is created. Let's take the node description ID because I want to make sure that the description ID, I'm going to go to the text table where product texts are stored. Go inside And yeah, we can give the success message also. सब कर देंगे अब, सब कर दूंगा अभी मैं. अभी देखते जाओ. ये देखो, thank you guys, thanks to you. You can see this is the text I passed from the UI. It's been saved now in the backend. Yeah, that's how I can create product, and that's exactly how I'm creating inquiries in my software, the way I showed you yesterday. But I'm using Ajax call because I don't have an OData service. With OData service, this is how you make a create call. We want to give a success message, so let's give that. So I'm gonna come back and I'll try now an error case where the product already exists should give me an error. Yeah, let's give a try quickly for that. Press F12. Now it should hit the callback function for error, guys. So I click on save again. Another call is made and it's gonna hit this time the error callback function. Voila, you see it has got error callback function. Anyone, what do you think this time the same call, why it lead to an error? Anybody, why it lead to an error this time? What do you think?
ID is already there.
Same product cannot be created twice.
Yes, again another product cannot be created with same ID. That's the error. You can read this error object and throw this error to the end user in a user understandable format. Okay, so you see this error object. Inside this error object, you see this is the JSON which you received. Response text is a JSON. So I can say o error dot response text. ये देखो पूरा response text है, ये JSON का string है. So you have to parse this JSON. So I say JSON dot pass this response text, and now you got your JSON object. Go inside this. Traversing is much easy, and you see this value is not unique. You see the backend is throwing this error to us from the BAPI, and BAPI से ये error आ गया मेरे पास. अब मैं user को दिखा सकता हूँ. So I can use this dot error dot message dot value. And there you go. That's the value. Copy that whole code which you tested it already in JavaScript. Pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. Message box API dot error. इतना easy है, कुछ भी नहीं है. आप लोग फालतू में डरते हो, फालतू में डरते हो. इतना easy है. यहाँ पे सक्सेस देना है. I want to give message toast dot show, and I'll say this was an amazing session. Miss you all. And then let's end it up. And I'm gonna go back to message toast on the top, and let's create. Okay, we already have status message as a message toast. So message box is there, message toast is there. दोनों हैं हमारे पास में. So just going to use the status message, which is representing message toast for success message. Save this, come back and retest, everything. And I don't have to debug anything anymore because I know, I trust my code. It's going to support me for what I do. And I'm just going to get another product Fiori hyphen 1010 demo product. Hey, how you doing? Price is 8,500 US dollars. Click on save. You are ready to see a toast message. Wow, this was an amazing session. Miss you all. There you go. That's the success message I'm providing to the end user after completing this up. And now it's time to click on save again. Boom, there you go. You can see the error message is popping up on the UI. This is not unique. Directly straight from the root of BAPI to the OData layer to the NetWeaver gateway to the Fiori layer to the UI of the end user. That's how you do error handling. I think this is what you were asking the other day. How can we do that in SAP UI5? With that, it's a wrap. Now, quickly, I will show you how to make a call using function import. That's going to add another button just to showcase you the call for function import get most expensive product debugging mode. I can show you that. So I can say button, I can say text equals to get, or I can say fm call, and I can say press. जब press करेंगे on fm call, that's a method I'm going to create on fm call. So let's come here on fm call. JavaScript function. I'm gonna get the OData model object one more time. This is my OData model object, and I can say call function. Success, and in this I'm gonna get response. If there's an error, I'm gonna get an error object. It's a request response, guys. Always a request response. This is a request and there's a response. Response could be successful or error. That's why two functions in the response callback. Now let's put a debuggers. Save this. Be ready to experience something unexpected. Let's press enter. Press F12. Hit the FM call. Watch out the network tab. Watch out the network tab. Make a FM call. Voila, you see it has made a call. So fast response, successful. A response have come. And now check it out, your response. Voila, this is the most expensive product in the entire history of all the products. 35. Okay, what is the price? 25,000. The other day, you remember we were calling function import directly from browser. It was giving me, and now you see it's giving me here as a response the most expensive product. That's how you make a call to the OData to read or call function import, which is there in your server. So now you can use this function import feature to be able to trigger a workflow, create an IDOC, run your recording SHDB, or trigger some BAPI, or do whatever you wish. Your choice, all yours. सब कुछ दे चुका हूं मैं आप लोगों को, कुछ भी नहीं छुपाया मैंने. Everything I gave you. With
So,
that I'm done with the course. Time for your questions, please.
Anubhav,
Yes.
so with the last thing, how you explained, right, the function call. So from the front end, suppose like whatever like 4 or 5 fields that you have changed, we can just pass it on to the back end, and then if all the manipulative logic also we can take it back to the website and we can do.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, you can do that. You can do that, absolutely. This is all your ABAP knowledge now to upskill your project with whatever you wish to. Okay, it's all your ABAP skill now.
When I click on the error, right, it's popping up the error message. So I think this is from the front end, right? If we get the error message from the back end,
Yes.
it shows like HTTPS call.
Yes,
So
it's always request response. Imagine the backend is a black box for you. This is backend, okay? So what is happening? System is making a post call, or system is making a function import call to the backend. For you as a UI developer, when you are in the shoe of UI developer, when you are doing batting, will you think about bowling? When you're doing batting, will you think about bowling? No, you are batting here. So you are saying, I want to play this shot like this. So जैसे ही आपने shot मारा, ball boundary के बाहर. कैसा? You made a shot. It made a request. Remember, request response भूलना नहीं, बहुत important है. First session, request response. You made a request. The backend is gonna give you a response. The response is of two types, whether it is successful or whether it is error. So based on the response, how do you know what is success, what is error? So that's why SAP, every method which is used for communicating to backend is having two callback functions: success and error, success and error, success and error. So if the call is successful, system is automatically identify that based on response code. You don't have to do that. In Ajax call, you have to, or some old days we have to check if the response is success with the code. Every response, HTTP response has a code. With the code we used to check. Now we don't have to do that here. If the response is success, automatically is going to hit the success call. If response is error, automatically is going to hit channelize your call to the error call. Similarly, same happens here. This is also request response. So it will also automatically make a request and response and give a call to the success and error automatically. That's the beauty of it. I hope it's clear to all of you. Request response. This is your response function.
Anubhav, this is Murli again. I just had one question. We created the add view. You put the level as 3. Can you just explain why we put level as 3?
Actually, I'm also not sure about this level feature. I've never used it much as such. I think even putting level 3, it won't, it will work actually. But I think I remember one exercise I gave you all where I asked you to navigate to a table. I remember this exercise. Did you complete that exercise, Murli? Where there was a table here, selecting the data in the table, it should go to the next view. Did you complete that exercise?
No, I don't. I
No,
did not
that's why
do.
you don't know that example of level 3. I'll show you in our training blog that exercise is posted. Thanks to Lakshmi for providing
Okay.
solution on the same. Let me show you that. I think it was Monica or Lakshmi. One of them have provided the solution. Please watch that.
Okay.
Come down here. You will see navigation exercise to third view. Yeah, routing navigation to third page from table, courtesy Monica. Monica have done that. You see here, this is the solution. Please watch this, download and run this in your system.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Fine. Thanks.
Okay. Any other question?
Anubhav,
Huh?
yeah. So I have one question regarding the update method we will use. Let's say OData model dot update if we will use.
Okay,
We have
guys.
used
Once again,
create.
yes. Since you asked this question, very important. What type of method should be used with the OData model in what cases? Let me just do that. So just going to quickly tell you this list. If you want to do an HTTP request, what type of method? Name in OData model. If it is a get request, it's dot get entity set name. If it is post request, it's dot create. Like we did just now. In this, additionally, you will pass payload. Of course, everything has callback functions, which will get you the data back. When the response comes, it will hit the callback functions. Then if you're doing an update, this also has same signature like create. And then we have delete. I think it's dot delete. What you want to delete, that key you have to pass. And in update also, it is must that you pass the key, guys. I missed that part. बिना की के अपडेट नहीं होगा, बिना की के डिलीट नहीं होगा. Function import. Yeah, so these are all the methods you can make a call for OData model for different variety of operations. Google पे बहुत material है. So many links, so many SDN blogs we have for making these calls. You just need to know कौन सा method कब use करना है. That's it.
So Anubhav, in this list I will start from bottom. Just we discussed we are getting response from function import in the JSON format, right? So like we can use that JSON format to set the model of the view to display whatever is written
Yes,
result,
very good.
right?
बहुत अच्छे आप समझ गए concept. You understood. Let me repeat, guys, what he just mentioned. Suppose you are making a request, and that request gave you a response, and that data which has come as a response, you want to display to the user on the screen. What can you do? You can actually use that response which has come back to you, this response, to set it to the model. देखो magic दिखाता हूँ. This response is giving you product ID, right? I'm gonna use this response, and this whole response which I'm getting, let me just quickly check the format of the response which I'm receiving back. I'm just quickly gonna check that. So let's come here. Here is where is our code gone? Use that response actually to do the magic. I'll just show you once again. Press F12, call function. It hits the breakpoint and you see this response. If you check this response, we have kept our local JSON model exactly same format. Set this response to JSON, same data will display on these input fields because these input fields are connected. These input fields are connected to the local JSON model. कुछ भी नहीं करना है, कुछ भी नहीं करना है. Just come here. But remember, in callback function, can you access this pointer in callback function? Can you access this pointer in callback function? No. What do you have to
No,
do? You have to
no.
create a
We have
local
to set
pointer.
the
Perfect answer.
local list.
Yes. Did I took extra classes for you, Prasoon, to explain this? Did I took extra classes for this to explain this?
No.
No. How do you know this? Because we covered in the course. जिसने शिद्दत से कोर्स किया है ना, कभी नहीं भूलेगा वो. The person who have put his 100%, 200% in my training, they will never forget these concepts. And only what matters between you guys and other guys or whomsoever it is practice. If you have done Chintan and Manan, wow, what an answer. Chintan and Manan SK. Thank you so much for remembering this. Chintan and Manan, those who are recalling it while you are traveling, while you are talking to somebody, while you are eating, while you're doing just nothing, while you are just in the transition period of this sleep on your bed, if that time you're doing little bit of चिंतन and मनन, आज सुबह अनुभव ने क्या पढ़ाया, आज क्या पढ़ाया सर ने, आज कैसे काम किया, आज क्या एक्सरसाइज की मैंने, आज क्या क्या कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़े, इतना सा चिंतन and मनन 5 मिनट का कर लो. I believe you that curiosity, human curiosity is the biggest path for success of your life. क्या बोल दिया मैंने, क्या बोल दिया, ह्यूमन क्यूरियोसिटी इज द बिगेस्ट पाथ फॉर सक्सेस ऑफ ह्यूमन लाइफ. सक्सेस ऑफ योर लर्निंग इज ह्यूमन क्यूरियोसिटी. द मोमेंट यू डू चिंतन मनन, यू विल फॉरगेट. You will say, अरे यार याद नहीं आ रहा क्या पढ़ाया, अरे यार याद नहीं आ रहा क्या पढ़ाया. Immediately you will get up, you can't sleep then. You will get up and you'll go back to the laptop. अरे क्या पढ़ाया था, अरे क्या किया था उसने, कैसे किया था. And then you will look at it. उसके बाद नींद आएगा, उसके बाद नींद आएगा. Otherwise you'll not be able to sleep. Chintan Manan is very very important, guys. Chintan and Manan is very important. If you can do Chintan and Manan, you will never forget things. This is how you remember things. That is the secret. Now that dot, now you can access anything which is this is representing that. It's a callback function. You can't access this pointer inside directly. So now come here, that dot get view dot set, सॉरी गेट मॉडल. कौन सा मॉडल, लोकल मॉडल. इसमें क्या करना है, डॉट सेट प्रॉपर्टी. क्या सेट करूं, स्लैश प्रोडक्ट डेटा. सेट द प्रोडक्ट डेटा प्लीज. कैसे सेट करूं, क्या डालूं यहाँ पे, रेस्पॉन्स जो डेटा से मिला. वॉच आउट गाइज, वॉच आउट दिस एक्सरसाइज नाउ. The data of most expensive product will immediately populate here because it's a two-way JSON binding. जैसे ही डेटा JSON में पंप करोगे, JSON will pump that data to the UI. It's a two-way data binding. Let me make a FM call. Watch out. FM call. Boom, there you go. Can you see the most expensive product is immediately populated on the UI? Immediately. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of your code, guys. Why my product name description not coming? I don't know the reason. I don't know. Let's go and check it out. Let's say FM call again. Let it hit the breakpoint. It didn't hit the breakpoint. I don't have a breakpoint actually. I come here and say FM call. Let's see the response. Is the product name and description coming from backend or not? Is it coming from backend or not? आ ही नहीं रहा है, backend से ही नहीं आ रहा. मैं क्या करूं, मेरा bug नहीं है. It's a backend bug. This is how you can identify. Many times when somebody report a bug to you, you start finding your issues. हम अपने आप को गलत मान लेते हैं. ओके, दिस इज आवर प्रिजम्पशन. आधा नॉलेज होता है तो हम अपने आप को गलत मानने लगते हैं. नेवर डू दैट. Check in the system. Many times this kind of issues will come in productive code where they will say data is not coming on Fiori app because end user only see app, end user only see Fiori screen. That's why they report always bug on the UI. They don't know what's going in the backend. But actually it's a backend issue. What do? I debug. I found out there is no response coming for name and description from backend. Backend से blank आ रहा है, मैं क्या करूं. I will now change the processor of my ticket which is on my name to the backend developer name. And luckily, if you are the baller, you are lucky to be a baller also. You can do this fix yourself. And this is what I like the most about UI5 Fury and this training. We can do batting and bowling together. If you are all rounder, believe me, if you are all rounder, your value is maximum in the company. Your value is maximum. Always try to be unique. If you try to be the best, you will be number one. If you try to be the best, you will be number one. I don't want you to be number one. I want you to be unique. If you try to be unique, what will happen? You will be the only one. ये याद रखना. Temporary benefits, lollipops, these companies, big brands, they will just give you lollipops. 500 रुपए का वाउचर दे दिया, टीम मीटिंग में अप्रिशिएट कर दिया, छोटा सा सर्टिफिकेट पकड़ा दिया. These are lollipops to keep an employee happy and motivated. Target something big. Don't run behind lollipops. Don't run behind lollipops. I see these days in companies people get so frustrated. मेरे कलीग को यार अवार्ड दे दिया, उसको उसको किस बात का अवार्ड दे दिया, उसने ऐसा क्या किया था. Why are you wasting your time in nonsense discussions? Spend your quality time on fruitful discussions. What is fruitful discussion? अरे यार कंपोनेंट जेएस से, राउटर से इसका ऑब्जेक्ट कैसे निकालूं, दैट इज फ्रूटफुल डिस्कशन. Why are you wasting your time in lollipops? Don't waste your time in lollipops. These are just small tactics. आज कोई और है, कल कोई और होगा और परसों कोई और होगा जिसको सर्टिफिकेट मिल रहा होगा. वो खुश हो रहा होगा और तुम लर्निंग कर रहे होगे, और उसके बाद में तुम निकल जाओगे, वो वहीं लॉलीपॉप खाता रहेगा, वो वहीं लॉलीपॉप
अनुभव
चूसता रहेगा और तुम निकल जाओगे अपने पाथ पे. तुम बड़े बड़े टारगेट के लिए निकल जाओगे. बड़े टारगेट के लिए तैयारी हमेशा छोटे लेवल से करनी पड़ती है. फाउंडेशन स्ट्रॉन्ग करना पड़ता है. यू हैव टू हैव अ स्ट्रॉन्ग फाउंडेशन फॉर अ बिग गोल. यू हैव टू हैव years of hard work. Big goals cannot be achieved in months or days or weeks. For the big goals, you have to have years and years of hard work which you have to do. Years and years of hard work. And if you're stuck in these small lollipops, man, that's not the game for you then. You will be just Kueka Mendak. Within that pound, you will be jumping. You will not be never be able to come out of it. Okay, that's very important. You have to decide what you want to be. Next question, please.
I know. I have a couple of more questions actually. So first one, this regarding this response of function is done. Then I have, yeah, updating only certain fields. So like I'm using, let's say, update one. I want to update certain fields only. Like we use modify statement in ABAP, we will have that option, right? Not updating like all the fields, just certain
Please
fields.
watch my annual learning series video about patch request. This is what exactly explained in the patch request. That's what the patch is. So you can go to annual learning series.
Okay, in patch request, I watched that video. It is like deep insert, right?
No,
It was like
no. You have to
I
go with
watched
patch
that.
or merge.
Oh,
Merge and patch
oh,
is,
sorry. It was
yeah. So just go here. Please watch
in
this.
much. I have not. Okay.
I have actually showed all these things. Delete
And
भी दिखाया है मैंने, कोड एक्चुअल कोड करके दिखाया है यहाँ पे. Delete, merge, everything I taught. Please watch this.
and
Display edit mode
okay.
functionality. Remember conventional SAP GUI technique. Display mode, edit mode in SAP GUI. How to achieve display mode,
Yep.
edit mode. That is what I taught here. Okay. Deep
Okay.
insert is something else. Don't confuse. Don't confuse. Deep insert is something else. Here is the deep insert.
Yes.
I would
Yes.
highly
These are
recommend,
related.
guys, all of you, the next level for all of you, immediate level is Anubhav Learning Series. Please complete Anubhav Learning Series. कितना? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 video, a dozen video to change your life, guys. A dozen video to change the game. You
So
will.
So last two small questions, Anubhav. One is like for number range, which I told. Like let's say I'm clicking on add button and it should give me the number range from backend. So using function import again, we can achieve
You
that,
can
right?
get that, you can read that
Get
value,
or get yeah.
and on the
Yep.
UI make this field grayed out so user can't change.
Grayed out. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And last question is like global, like is there like global data concept kind of here? Like suppose that we got this data here right now,
Mhm.
making function call, FM call, we got this most expensive. So I want to set it at like global level or
बस
even in
यूजर आप ही
OData
भूलते
also.
जा रहे हो सारे concepts. You forgot all the concepts. I'll show you that.
No, like actually from OData level, actually mainly I was checking like any kind of in one entity set, while in get entity set of one entity, I fetched the data and similar data I needed for other operation also. So in that other entity
No,
set, I
you
have to
have to
write
use
again the
the
same code.
global JSON model. Come here, set up a global
No,
JSON.
from OData side, I am saying, or from OData
No,
side.
no, no, no.
So every entity set individually, I have to fetch uh, every time that we are making a call there
Yes.
to that particular entity set, we have to fetch individually.
Correct. Tell me one thing. In a ABAP, when you fire a select query, is the result
Hmm.
of select query persisted globally in a session variable automatically?
No. We have to
What do you
set
have
it
to do?
actually. We have to set it.
Set it into
Uh,
internal table, and that internal table
internal
is
tab.
then global to the program. You can use it anywhere.
Yes.
Exact same concept is
That's,
JSON and OData combination. JSON is like your
so
local internal table जहाँ पे data आप
okay.
रखोगे, modify
Yes.
करोगे,
Yes.
update करोगे, सब कुछ उसी में करोगे. Every
Hmm.
modification, update, change which you're doing is local change. Immediately you won't send it to database until user click on save button.
Hmm.
That is the benefit of JSON. You keep it all local in the JSON model. Modify, edit, delete, trash, trap, manipulate, whatever you want to do. Do it in local JSON model. And then once the
Okay.
final data set is prepared and ready, and now you see I'm ready to launch my shuttle. 10,
Hmm.
9, 8, 7, 6, launch. That's how you got to do. Exactly same concept between internal table and database table, how you manage in ABAP. Similarly here, OData model and JSON model. Mhm.
Okay. 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 Thank you. And one last one, like yesterday I was trying to deploy SAP in SAP UI5 repository. It started, it was showing my package and everything. As I told, like I was able to connect to like backend, my gateway backend. So it was popping up everything, but at the end, import that deploying failed, saying that index of something like could not identify the property index of like that. The same
That
app
is
is working
because your
fine on local
project has
web
too
ID.
many files sometimes, and that is the
Okay.
reason it doesn't. It fails sometime. Many time you will see absolutely nothing actually. A valid reason why it's not getting deployed. It is because of backend issue, or probably a project has so many files, so many things that web id is not equipped enough.
Eh,
So the best
It's
way
the
to
same
use is
one.
web id productive version, that kind of thing you can use, and then
Okay.
you can report a ticket to SAP saying that this is not working. That is the way. That's why we don't recommend to use trial version. However, everything naturally works. Another option, guys, you can do is go to SAP system directly. SE38. Okay. Go to SE38. This is covered anyway in my advanced training. Since you asked, it is beneficial for others also to tell. Go to SAP backend system directly and go to SE38. This is what I did in your project, Saket, because your web IDE was behaving weird. So type a program name UI5 slash UI5 repository upload. Yeah. Use this, execute this program, give your BSP application name directly here, and then you can say execute. You're doing an upload, and just show the file which is having all the files of your project. Don't show zip file to it. Tell the folder where you have all the files, it's going to upload the project in the backend system. This is another reliable way. It's covered
So we
more
have to
detail
unzip.
in my advanced
We have
training.
to unzip first, right? We have to unzip and then load here.
Yes, you have to
It
unzip.
will create BSP. Okay.
It will create BSP. This
Yes.
you can use another way.
Okay. Thank you.
It's covered in advanced training. Actually, you are a part of that batch already, so you will learn it.
Yes.
The time will come for that as well.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Cool. Anybody else? Any questions? I'm going to upload this final project to the training blog. Thank you so much for all your patience and love you all given to me. I hope you have got a great learning as part of this course and you will remember it. I'm there for you lifetime. It's not an end of relationship. You can come back to me anytime. I would still request to not send your job support related doubts because I will not be able to handle them up. Yes, if it is minor one, something I can quickly give an answer, I would definitely try to do that. Okay. So for queries, you can always
Anubhav,
email me. Mhm.
Anubhav, hi, Dheeraj.
Hey Dheeraj. Yeah.
Anubhav, so next week, are we going to have any sessions?
No, we are done with the course.
Okay, okay. So the Oops Abap, whatever videos you have provided earlier,
Mhm.
so those only we have to consider, right?
They are there now in training blog. You can watch them.
Yeah.
I have already uploaded Oops Abap complimentary videos here. I think at the beginning of the
Okay.
course only we have done that. You can watch them
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah. Long. Okay. 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 And Anubhav, one question regarding this function import.
Mhm.
So whatever function model you have used over there for getting most expensive product, so that function model is available in backend server, right?
No, we did not use function module. What we did was we implemented
For
a
call
method.
function.
We've written select query manually to get the most expensive product in our code. So we used a perform action method. I use
Okay.
execute action method. This one I've used to be able to fetch the most expensive product. No function module here. This is the
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. No, sorry. I missed out earlier classes, so I was having this
the bit
doubt.
of
No,
confusion
it's,
I
no. Yes. Right. As I told you, I missed out few classes, so no issues. Anu.
right,
I
right.
got it now.
Okay, don't
Thank you.
worry. Nothing wrong. It's absolutely okay. You can go ahead and re-watch these videos, which I've explained.
Yes.
It's not a direct call a function module. You can have multiple function imports, and for each function import, you can accordingly have here case statement. And below that, whatever you wish to do, you can do. You can call function module, you can call BAPI, you can call IDOC, you can call an ALE, you can make a workflow start. There's a function module in SAP SWB underscore start underscore workflow. You can start a workflow actually in the backend system using function import by passing the workflow ID or work item ID or agent information. SciU name is also applicable here. You can use SciU name to identify current user. There's a lot you can do with function import. Basically, the idea is to wherever we don't have crude operations, non-crude operations are handled by function import.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Anubhav. Thanks, Anubhav.
Okay, good guys. Thank you so much for all your time and love. And see you if you are interested to join the advanced course. This has already started. You can join it. But I would recommend all of you first complete Anubhav Learning Series on the website. The complete source code and everything is available on the website. Please do that. That will give you another edge, another understanding because there I built an end-to-end pizza application using SAP Fiori and SAP backend. So those who have no clue about ABAP also, it's a good opportunity to go to Anubhav Learning Series because there I have created database table also in ABAP from scratch. So that is the beauty of Anubhav Learning Series. It's free. Complete source code including PPT is free. So that's it for the day and for the sessions. Thank you so much once again.
Anubhav,
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah,
Anubhav,
yes, please.
yeah,
What?
so are you going to take any session for interview questions?
Interview Q&A, not right now. Not. All the
Thank you
interview
very much,
questions we
Anubhav.
Anubhav, do you have anything for certification material wise? Any
certification material dumps you are asking. I don't have dumps with me, but believe me, the way we have learned things. If you appear for certification, I'm sure without any dumps, you can clear that. But I don't have any dumps. Guys, to tell you, I'm not certified on any of the topic, neither on ABAP, nor on UI5, nor on ABAP on HANA, on any other topic. Till date, I have not done a single certification in my life.
Anubhav, one quick question.
Because
What about if
I know it's easy to do certification with dumps. Any certification you can do today. Machine learning करना है वो भी हो जाता है dump से. Okay.
One
Yes, please.
question.
1 second, ladies first.
Okay.
Anubhav, एक पूछना था.
Yeah, please.
एक पूछना था. I mean, because I'm lacking in doing some exercises on the previous classes and this thing. So down the line, if we have any questions if we are stuck in the practice while going through the previous classes or in the practice, I mean, you will support me, right? I mean,
Yes.
clarify the issues, right?
Lifetime support for any question you have regarding the classes. I am there for you. Lifetime
thank
support.
you. Thank you.
As long as my life is there. For that, lifetime support.
Thank you.
So don't hesitate, guys, sending me an email, asking any question. You can also shoot your job related questions, your job support questions. I feel if I know the answer and it's easy for me to guide you, I will send the response. If I feel it's complicated and not something which I can concretely say something, I will say no for that. Okay, guys? You can, however, send that. Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
I know it is not related to something to the class or query, but like I'm an ABAP year experience, but now I want to switch to your UI5. But like in my office, they're not giving me a full-fledged chance to move. So can you just guide me, means how I can, at least by changing the company, will it help me? How you suggest me?
Yes, if you wish to work on UI5, you want to work and build UI5 expertise, just see for some days. See for some days if you can ask them, or if you see some projects are coming where you may talk to your manager openly, guys. Go and talk to your manager.
No, actually, actually, I have already talked to them. So they are like, actually, they have given me a team. So here currently, I'm working as a team lead. Okay. But I said them, see, actually, means working as a team lead, it's okay. But like, I'm ready to work as a normal consultant for the Fury. So they are like, you're quite experienced and this and that. So just guide me where I can, make them into the confidence that I can take up these things. I know this is like, this is not related to the query.
You made a statement to them that you know UI5 Fury. When the work will come, if they don't find anybody, they will give it to you anyway. वो आपको ही पकड़ेंगे आके कि ये जानती है, इसको पकड़ो. इसने एक दिन बोला था UI5 आता है. So they will naturally come to you. But if you proactively wants to switch, try out opportunity outside. Put on LinkedIn, UI5 Fury experience. Put it on LinkedIn. I was talking to somebody the other day. I think it was Prasoon. He was mentioning the moment he has mentioned a BEP on HANA and UI5 Fury on LinkedIn, he's continuously getting a
No, yes. Actually, I didn't even mention ABAP on HANA. It only UI5 Fury like that. And ABAP already is my core skill and function. So I'm getting like till date within a month I've got like 9 to 10 pings from different people. But they were all like looking for immediate joiners and all and other things. But yeah, definitely I'm not looking for change right now. So I
Will
had
you
to
send those
deny.
inquiries to Prativa?
Yeah, I will check. I will certainly. I will do that.
You send it to me, I
Yes.
will forward it to her.
But what is no, actually, Anubhav, actually, my way of learning is like, suppose I do at least one project, okay?
You want
So
to
I
do
get a
project?
content.
You want to do project? Those who want to do project, I'm starting a project this Saturday.
You're starting, Anubhav, but the thing is like, you must be knowing that I travel along. I know you will say that I don't want these bahanas and all, but means like I have a baby and my office things. So I don't want to commit you, and then suppose if I'm not able to give you 100%. So that was the reason when you said that you can
You
join
have
me.
to give me an estimate, Anubhav. I can spend 2 hours a week. मैं 2 घंटे का ही काम दूंगा आपको. लेकिन 2 घंटा तो कमिट
तो
करो अच्छे
अनुभव
से।
ये जो आप बता रहे हो ना, नहीं नहीं एक्चुअली आप ये जो बता रहे हो ये 2 महीने के बाद तो मैं भी एक्चुअली लाइक आई कैन टेक अ टाइम बिकॉज करेंटली दे मी असाइंड अ प्रोजेक्ट विच विल बी वी हैव टू गो लाइव बाय द मंथ ऑफ जैन.
ओके ओके
So I'll be completely involved and that is the reason from few मुझे 2 weeks back मैं कुछ भी नहीं कर रही हूँ. मैं just आपके कोर्स के वीडियोस ही सुन रही हूँ.
okay
और
then
मैं
do
खुद
one
से भी
thing.
कुछ
First ramp up yourself on UI5 properly, all the videos.
okay.
And then you can apply, at least update your LinkedIn profile and your resumes on different portals, job portals, where you project
Hmm.
yourself as a UI5 Fiori consultant. If you get a
Okay.
better opportunity which fits to your need and work culture which you wish to, then you can go for interview. At least go for interviews, guys. When you go for interviews, they interviews teach you a lot. Interviews teaches you a lot. It will show you a mirror. Interviews are mirror. Even I never want to switch, I still do go attend interviews every year. At least 2 interviews I will go and attend. उससे मुझे 2 चीजें सीखने को मिलती है, मैं कितने पानी में हूँ, and second thing, I will know what is currently hot in the market. So whenever you go for an
Yeah.
interview, you will get this realization, self realization, what how much water you are into, and what are all the things which are going hot in the market people are using. Like last interview which I attended, they were all asking about grunt and best practice build, which I was clueless. आया, 2 दिन में सीख गया. अब आओ इंटरव्यूअर, अब आओ, पूछो, I'm ready for that. So the interviews are always mirrors. They will give you a real reflection of where you stand. What is your knowledge meter? So it's a knowledge meter always. So always go for interviews, whether you wish to join that company or not, but at least go for interviews. Believe me, अगर किसी ने मन से ये कोर्स किया है, after you come out of interview ना, there will not be a single thing which you will miss. There will not be a single thing which you will say कि मुझे नहीं आया या मुझे पता नहीं था. Your confidence level will be almost double after the interview. That yes, I know something. Yes, I really learned something which I can be proud upon. So go for interview. Go for it.
But I know, suppose initially when we start a career in UI finance, like obviously we'll be stuck in many places. So I expect that,
You
means
can
आप
come
थोड़ा
back to
help
me
कर.
all. No problem.
Okay, Anubhav, thanks a lot.
Fine. Now, guys, those who want to join the project, I would at least need some hour commitment from you. Those who want to join my project is starting this Saturday. It's nothing but I am not getting time to continue take out my this institute project further on. So I want to set up a Git repository and properly set up tasks, and then I want to define exact task for all of you. So the OData support I will be providing you in the cloud. You can access the OData and build on WebID this particular project. That's something which I'm starting tomorrow, and the meeting will be is scheduled tomorrow afternoon around 2 p.m. India time. So those who are interested, you can come to me. We can have this meeting 2 to 4, about 2 to 4 this meeting is planned. So these 2 hours I will explain you the project, I will show you the structure of the project, and I will kick you out with the list of action items with the project product backlog and project scrum items, and we will have a weekly review. And I would need some hour commitment, any hour. You can say minimum commitment should be 4 hours a week, up to how much ever you can say you can spend. So there I will have dedicated tasks for each one of you assigned, and you have to deliver the task by the end of the week. If you get any doubts, you can always email me. I will just give you hints. I will of course not be able to give you exact results, because अगर मैं ही दे सकता तो मैं आपसे क्यों करवाता. Right? So many people think, I let me join the project, Anubhav will guide me, Anubhav will give me the code, I will learn also free में और मैं सब कुछ सीख जाऊंगा. काम करना पड़ेगा. अगर प्रोजेक्ट में का पार्ट बनना है, सीखने को बहुत है, बट यू हैव टू वर्क एंड डिलीवर. You have to have that commitment of hours. Those who are ready for to take this challenge up, you can write an email, separate email to me. I will invite you to the meeting tomorrow. I have right now only 2 candidates who have accepted my proposal and who are ready to work on it. I will send them invite, along with that you are also invited. But you will get a lot of learning, and it's all going to be on UI5 Fiori. No Node.js programming to you. no ABAP programming. It's pure UI5 and Fiori work which I have. Whatever we learned in our course, that one I'm going to showcase you, and that is what I will expect from you. So this is something which I'm starting. Do write me a separate email. I will include you to the meeting, and then you can be there. With that, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Last question.
Anubhav, if it is 2 p.m., it is difficult for us people who are in North America.
Yeah, Anubhav.
Are you interested at least?
I'm interested. Maybe, I mean, immediately I may not be able to solve the issues because I'm lacking practice in some
I would say
classes.
spend these 4 hours which you are planning to give it to me on your practice.
Yeah, but I have to first 2 weeks I need to clear off all my backlog of practice, and then maybe I can solve. But I'm ready to join in startup. At least if I know something, I will try to do it in the
No,
first classes.
I
If
would
it is
not
something.
recommend you because it will, by the time it will get over. By the time you're ready, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it will get over.
Okay, then I mean, can I at least join to see whether I'm capable of doing that
I
or
will
not?
record this meeting. I will record this meeting and send you the recordings. Those who want recording
Okay.
only, you can send me an email on Monday. I will send you the recordings of this.
Okay.
Okay. But I would not
Okay.
recommend you to join. मेरा काम जरूरी नहीं है, आपका पढ़ाई ज़्यादा जरूरी है. Your self learning is more important. My work is not important. Yeah. Your self learning is more important for me than my own work. But those who are have the confidence, you guys can do. With that, it's a wrap. Thank you so much. See you. Goodbye.